Alright, so I think we are going to move to another design. So I'll just create a new file. Um, I think this one is going to be a what dimension should we use? It's more of a game poster design. We're going to make a game poster design for Player Unknown's Battleground. That's PUBG. Alright, so we just go to print and then I'm going to select A4. A4, yes, A4 should work. Yeah, yes, A4 should work. So we're going to create, and then I already downloaded some of the resources, and I'm just going to add them one after the other. So I think I'll bring. Should I use this, or this? Let me use this. So we can have this here. Let's have this here. So, like I said earlier in the previous live stream, the one we did, before I do anything in my designs, I like to position the pictures first to see how, more like to give it a proper layout before adding any other thing. So some people prefer to start with the background and all of that, but I like starting with the picture so that I can know what backgrounds would fit with the images. So let's just finish adding the necessary images. Okay, I think this will work. I'm just going to take this behind. So we have something like this, something like this, something like this, something like this. This one is looking really, dear Lord. Oh. Okay, this is making more sense. Now, okay, let me break this down. We're going to use some rulers. The first character will be here. The others would stop somewhere here. And if we're going to have another, maybe layer, I just want to stop it. It's going to give it a proper perspective. So when you're making designs like this, you have to understand the principle of perspective. So I'm just going to bring this guy down here. So it looks a lot more aligned. Okay, I think we have 2 more characters to add. I think this should go here. So just gonna take it down. So let's give them more perspective. Don't worry about the sharp edges, we're going to fix that later. I think I have to move this inwards a bit and move this in as well, so that I can add another character. So let's scale this. I think this young lady is obstructing this young man over here. So let's see if we can. This is kind of terrible. So now we have a problem. If we place this guy here, it's not going to be so visible. He's not going to be so visible because he's obstructed by the view from this guy. So what we can do is to like take this. So that means we have to raise this bar upwards, and that means this has to come up as well. So this has to come up as well. So, but you don't have to be very, very strict with this. This is just more like to just guide you. You can break the rules. So this is just to create some form of alignment. I can have this here as well. Nothing special about it. So this can be here, and we're still going to reduce this so that the size matches with this other one. And after positioning the pictures, I think we can move over to backgrounds. Let's see. I think I would need something like this. Yes, let's add let's try this. Let's try this here in front. I think the pictures are now becoming too much. So let's remove this one and let's just work with it. Okay, so let's can we use this or this or this or this or this or this? Okay, let's try this for the background. So Control P. So I specifically searched for all PUBG's resources. So you have to understand how to properly position your elements so that you don't position them wrongly. That's why you have to understand the principle of perspective. If I move it this way, it can make sense. Now, I think it's going to make sense like this. Let's lock it for now. That means we need a solid color in the background. So I'll come here to the adjustment layers and click on solid colors. So now I'm going to pick a color from the scene. I'm not just going to try any random color. I don't enjoy trying random colors. I prefer to try colors from the images I already imported so that it's going to match perfectly with the image since the color was chosen from somewhere from the image. Let's make it add a mask, select your gradient tool, and then ensure that it's this foreground to transparent, and then ensure that your foreground color is black, and then you can just come somewhere here and pull. Just pull it. It's going to give you that faded effect. So some persons work with you can also use the brush tool to like create the same fade effect, but I think it's much more faster using the gradient tool. So I'm just removing the gloss. So we've already made so much progress so far. And then let's look fill on this image layer. And then let's add some parachutes and some airdrops. So we've not really started the compositing aspect yet. We're just placing our elements there. Once we're done with placing the elements, we can now start dealing with matching the colors and the rest of that. So let's just finish adding everything. So let's add this as well. I think we should just forget about this. I think just this one is okay. And then we can have, let's have this airdrop image that down. Mm, let's increase it. So we just do the same thing we did for this other one. So we'll add a mask and then still the gradient tool, and with our foreground color black, we'll just drag over it. So you can pull this in to like give you something nice. So if you notice, we've not really touched the edges of these pictures. So that's why I said I prefer starting with creating all the images first before I move to the background. So you can see that we need to do a lot of color balance here. And then what can we add? What can we add? Let's try this airdrop. Let's try adding this airdrop. This has a shadow. Oh no. Um, let's see if we can select pixels and then add a mask. Yes, I think that solves the shadow problem. Control T, and then I don't think it really matches the perspective. It doesn't really match the perspective, so I think I'll just do it like that. We already have this airdrop. So let's try. I downloaded one image of one of the vehicles. PUBG. Where is it? So if I position this. Oh, wait. Let me bring this laptop here. No, it's going to hide the gun. So let me have that behind. So you really have to understand how perspective works so that you can really know how to place. Let me turn this off so that we can see that clearly. So you really have to understand how perspective works so that you can place some things properly. So we're making so much progress with this already. What next? So now we're done with this, with the images and with the background, I guess. Let's and this is a map of, I don't think we don't have any business with this map. I'm trying to see if no, we don't have any business with this map. So I'll just delete it. And what next? Let's add the logo. So you can have this here, scale it down. Ensure your elements are always centralized. So we're going to group all these images. So let's group them. Select all the layers. So to select, you hold shift. That's after selecting the first layer, you hold shift, go to the last layer, and then click it. It's going to select all the layers in between, and then you use Ctrl G to create the group. So after creating the group, you can see that we can turn this on and turn this off. anytime. So this is the background, and this is it. So getting your backgrounds, for me, it's much easier when you have your images in the design already. So um, it's a practice that I um, use to get proper layouts for my design. So putting the images first helps you get a very good layout. So yes, let's add this here. So wow, that looks nice. Let's see if we use white. Use white. Yeah, I think white works. White works. So, um, let's rename this. So you just come to the title, double click on it, rename it. So I'll just rename it PUBG 1 and name the second one PUBG 2. So now look at this down part. I think let's just add the ingredients. Add ingredients. So you start with a blank layer and then select the ingredient tool to draw. So I don't think we are still going to see the car. So we can change this color so that it doesn't look pure black. Double click the thumbnail, double click this as well, select this, double click it, and then select a dark shade of red, very dark one. Okay, so we can adjust this so that we can have more. So we can move this upwards. So I still think we have to make it darker. So darker. And then maybe use a multiply blend. So I think now the car and what do they call that thing again? It's not really a car, but let me just call it a car, whatever. So I don't think it's going to be visible there. So let's try putting it somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. Somewhere here should work. So these are some things that add extra detail to your designs. So I can as well delete it, doesn't matter, but I think it adds some detail. Okay, so let's turn it off and lock it as well. So I think it adds some extra detail. Let's see the perfect. I think this is just the best place to have designs. So let's turn on the gradient. Should we use normal? If it's normal, I think let's just use multiply. So now let's turn this off for a moment, and then let's work on these images. So I'll turn this off first. So you see all these entire sharp edges, and let's see what it looks like. You can see that it doesn't look so nice. So there are several ways we can try to solve this problem, because if I add a fade here, Let's try that. If I add a field here, this was going to look, and I don't really like that. So I think we are going to use um, an object to cover that. So now what are we going to use? Let's try using that parachute image I tried using earlier. So let's try that. So if I bring this here and I take it up, no, no, so are you doing something like this? It's going to make a lot more sense than just trying to move. I think this for me this is much more better. So this is how, and one thing, don't forget to save your work. So you just go to file and then save. You can save it for the poster. So we're just going to save this with PUBG poster. So you can have credit at the bottom of this whole thing. So you can, there are fonts for adding those kind of credits, and one of them is cinematographica. So you can just look for the font and go to cinema font. So you can download it from that font, and I think I will paste this link in the comments. So I'm just going to paste it in the comments. Okay, I think I'm having. I'm going to. Anyway, you can just search online and download it. It's cinematographica. Then another one is steel tongues. But I'll just import from designs I already made, so you can see the. So I made this design a long time ago, and so I'm just going to copy it. So you can see the name of the font, steel tongues, steel and tongues, Tongs. So you can use cinematographica or steel tongues, and I'm just going to drag this in here. Where did it go to? Let me copy it again. What's happening? So Control C doesn't work. I'll use Control V. This one works. So I'm just gonna drag it down. Now look at this, it's editable, it's a text. So I prefer using steel tones because it comes with all this presents a film by costume designer. It just gives you this all the movie credits and all of them. So I prefer steel tones. But I think with cinematographica you have to type all of them yourself. So I think I'll just lock these 3 layers. So now we are not done yet, but this looks nice anyways, and I'll turn off every other thing in front. I'll turn this off as well. Because now look at these edges, we've not solved them. So when you're making designs like this, you have to pay attention to a lot of details. You have to pay attention to a lot of details. So this guy, you're going to add a mask, and then, like I said earlier, use the gradient tool. Ensure that your foreground color is black. Then you're just going to pull this up. Yeah. And you have to be careful and accurate as well because it's not perfect yet. So you pick this up. You see, you can still see it there. So, but anyways, you can now go to the brush tool. Use the brush tool. You can increase your opacity to 100. Ensure it's still foreground color. So you erase the edges properly to make it look professional. You get, huh? So this is now to deactivate the mask. You can just right click and say disable layer mask. So or you enable it. The shortcut is holding shift and clicking the layer mask. It turns it on and off. So okay, doesn't matter. So I'll do the same thing for this young lady right here. So you create a mask, gradient tool, foreground color black, drag it up. Yes. So it's still not perfect yet. So you use the brush tool, just clean up the hard edges. So now you can see that if you look here, it's this guy as well. We've not attended to this young man. We'll have to do the same, but this time I think I'll just use only the brush tool because we just need to remove just the edges. So when you're trying to hide parts of your images with layer mask, you can use the gradient tool or the brush tool. For me, I prefer using the gradient tool, right? So let me turn this off. Turn this off as well. So we'll do the same thing for this one. You add the layer mask, select the brush tool, scale it up. By the way, you just right click to reduce the brush size. So but the shortcut for doing this is holding your Alt button and your right click on your mouse. You right click and drag. Left and right increases the diameter. Up and down increases the hardness of the brush. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the size, and then I don't need the hard edges. So let's turn all these images back on. So now this looks good, but I think it needs some color balance. It doesn't require so much because they all look like the colors are similar. So we just need to do some touching. So let's add some curves adjustment. So I don't want to use separate adjustment layers because if I come here, if I apply curves, it's going to create a different adjustment layer. But I want the adjustments to be directly as an effect or a filter on each image. So I'm just going to go to image adjustments and go to curves. Now I'm working on this image, so I am going to try bringing down the brightness for the dark areas. That's the highlights, and then just because you don't have to be extreme with this. If you are extreme with it, your results are going to be terrible. So you just have to give it some mild definition. So not so much of an effect, but it's necessary because for you to be very good at this, you must be able to pay attention to details. So these are details like tiny elements and slight differences in color. So let's use a color balance adjustment. So go to color balance, color balance. So I want this to look quite reddish. This can be there. So we can go to the extreme. Let's make this 5 or 10. 10 is okay. So this is color balance. I'm not so sure if you can see it. It's just a slight change. We do the same thing. But let's try copying this effect. Let's see. I think it just goes well. So let's see if we can copy it for this one as well. Okay, that works as well. So I'm holding Alt to copy the effects. So I think it's making it look a lot more dramatic because we use the curves adjustment to increase the contrast. So now I feel that here is empty. I feel there is empty. Despite the fact that we have this logo up here. So let's try adding one of the aircraft in PUBG. So I'll just go and search for PUBG aircraft. And let's just search to find it. PNG. So we're going to find several images. So we have to select the best. Now, looking at the kind of design we are creating, we have to download an image that matches that perspective. So I think I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to open the website. So by the way, you can download free PNGs from PNG Week. And now I can find the image they showed me earlier. Why did they just okay, here it is. Alright, so you go down, download, close the ad, download PNG. Now you have to solve the captcha by click alphabets in order, and then you just go to H, 9, 5, and Y. I think that solves it. And that's one. So I like downloading 3 alternatives so that I don't have to come back all the time. Oh wow. What is this? Let me look at this design again. Let's try it. Then I think I'll go with this first one as well. So just go to download, close the ads. So the download should start. Oh, it's already downloaded. So I'll download this as well. I think we have enough already. So 3 options are just perfect. So I'll just come here and refresh my downloads. Let me try this first one. Matches perfectly. This just matches perfectly. It's just perfect. So let's try another image. the other aircrafts we downloaded so that we can select the best. Wow, this isn't bad though. Let, let's use this out. Let me turn off the other one. This isn't bad as well. Wow. Now this is making me want to choose. Let's try the final option. Huh. Not bad as well, but I think this is the list of all the options. Oh wow. What are we gonna do? So, but looking at these things here, I think this one. No. Should we choose? We have this, and this, and this. And this one makes it a lot more minimalistic. While this is the exact aircraft you see in PUBG. What are we gonna do? I think let's just go with this. Or this. What do I do now? No, this. No. I'm finally sticking with this. Let me not get get confused. So, but all night. So, if you prefer anyone, you can use them. So I'm going to delete this other thing and just work with this. Where are you? So I am going to name this aircraft or airplane, whatever you want to call it. Airplane. And then okay, so what next? So we've done some color balance in the images. I guess so. So let's try for the background images. So I'm going to unpop this one and then add a curves adjustment. Let's see what it's going to look like. Bringing this down makes it dark. I think it's already okay the way it is. It's just perfect. Let's use color balance. So let's increase the reds. So now several colors evoke several emotions and feelings, because if you've really played the PUBG game, you see that there are environments with this kind of cyan color and environments with this red. So I think I want to have this red. So I'm using yellows. I got some yellows. Let me try purples. So it's more of, it's as the name implies, color balance. We're trying to balance the colors. Alright, so that's it. Let's see it before. Now these changes are very tiny changes, so they're not so obvious. I wonder if you can see it on the live stream. This was before, this was after. Before and after. Just a tiny change, but that's what makes it perfect. I think there's something I want to add. There's something I want to add. Yeah, I downloaded this. Let me try it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to delete it because I necessarily do not need it at all. If I turn on my gradient, it's not visible. But I think it complements it in here. Complements it in no, it's not necessary. Just delete it. I think this is cool. So we're going to change the blend mode of this to the normal of this group. Okay, so back to what. So just turn this on and turn on the credits. So now this is okay, but let's try arrange my workspace like this. So you can rearrange because this is the default workspace you see when you're opening Photoshop for the first time. But I rearranged mine. I brought my properties over here. I prefer this. So you can collapse it so you have more space. So this is already looking so nice. So let's go for the color lookup. So you can load you can download cinematic LUTs, that is LUTs. It means lookup tables. You can download cinematic LUTs and then load them here, but there are default LUTs you can use. They can amplify your design. So you can try which one. Oh, this looks nice because it dropped the blues really. This really dropped the blues. So these are different. Oh, 4 colors. Film stock. So you don't have to be very extreme with all these effects though. I think this is just far from it. So either drop blues or 4 colors. I think I just prefer these 4 colors. These 4 colors makes it more. It makes it more vibrant, and drop blues makes it more cinematic. What am I going to choose now? 4 colors. Drop blues. Tough decision. All right. I'm just going to go with 4 colors. Yes. Make it a lot more cinematic. No, a lot more vibrant because drop blues was a lot more cinematic. So if you want to really make it cinematic, you can go with 4 colors. If you want to make it vibrant, you can go with. So it depends on the. You don't have to be very extreme. So this is with motion blur. Without motion blur. With motion blur. I think it goes well. So let's add motion blur to this. Filter motion blur. I think it's quite too much. So this is just to give us the idea that these things are in motion. But I don't think I would want to do that. So if you prefer the motion blur, I think the motion blur goes well for this aircraft. Let's just leave it like that. So let's try changing the blending of this color lookup layer. Let's see what it's going to give us. The results are quite terrible. Let's leave it at normal, and let's reduce the opacity to like 50%, so it's not too much. So I think this is perfect. This is perfect. And then we can now go ahead and add some. You can add this to mockups and whatever you want to add it to. All right. So you can go to file. So now let's say we're done with the design. So let's try organizing our layers. So from here to here is the background. So can just select these and group it, Control G, and then rename it and say background, and then you can label it with whatever color you want. All the colors, there are some list of colors, so you can like label it. So I think we can delete this default background. But Asha like leaving it too. So these are the images. So wow, I'll name this characters. Rename, label this yellow. So now we have this and this. So I'll name these adjustments. Group it first. Adjustments. So these are our adjustments basically. So I can label this A. So these are logos and credits. Logos and credits. I can label this orange. So you save it. So you can now save this template, and maybe if you're a free pick contributor, you can upload it on free pick or somewhere, and you can sell it as a template or whatever you want to do with it. So let's try applying this on some models. But first of all, let's export it. Go to file and go to export as an image. Sure, increase it. So the file size is 3.9 MB. Export it and you save it. So you can download some poster mockups. Let's try downloading those. I already have some poster mockups, but let's download so that you can see what it's like. So I like downloading poster mockups. So there are some poster mockups you can make use of. So I'll just turn on the PSD filter so that I can just have. So I think I like this. Let's download this. So it's free. You can download it as well. So once it's done downloading, we're going to add our design to it. So all these ones are premium. You can go ahead and subscribe to paid plan so that you can have access to all the premium elements. So there are a lot of poster mockups. I have some premium poster mockups. What's not so we are just downloading? Why is premium being here? The same thing. Anyway, it's good. We got it. So I'm just going to open it. So I'm going to extract it first. First click extract. So I'm going to extract it. Once it's done extracting, I should see a folder. I'm going to open the PSD file. Then after opening the PSD file, you can see it's your design here. So this is where we're supposed to put our design. So open it. Then add the design here. You can just add the design. Just whatever the edges. just has some you can turn off all the previous elements that were there. You don't need it. So we're just going to extend this, scale it up a bit so that it fits the canvas. You can just pick it up because I think that part is too close. So you just save it and it's going to update the smart object. So look at it, we have our poster design here. Wow, this is like amazing. This is so amazing. This and this. I think we need to make some adjustments. Oh. Anyways, that's it. So you can go ahead and export this. Go to file, the same way you exported it down, so you export as. Then you go ahead and export this. Save. So once you're done with that, you just close it and ensure that you save your PSD as well. So I think we're done for today. If you missed the early parts of this stream, you can go ahead and move your playhead backwards and watch from the beginning. But we are just going to end right here. We will continue later today. Yes, maybe sometime later.